All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another post-fight discussion video. All right, y'all, so I had to come back and talk about this main event between Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. First off, I got to say this was a great fight. And great fight meaning, you get to see two great ones go in there and just utilize their skills. I mean, most of the times, whenever people think of a great fighter, they think like of a fight of the year, fight of the night. They always think of, the matchups where it's blood and guts, it's constant trading and just blow for blow action. You know what I mean? Like, those are great fights. Yeah. Those are entertaining fights. But great fights like this is when you put 2 pound for pound top level fighters in there and you can actually see like two fighters trying to make adjustments and you see the skills playing out in there, right? You see Volkanovski going in here making the adjustments. You see Makhachev going in there and trying his best to utilize his strengths in this type of fight, right? So that's what we got. We didn't get a fight where two fighters were showing too much respect or they were too tentative or, they were just like apprehensive to let go or they were, just going in there, going through the motions, round after round, trying to play it safe. We didn't get a cautious fight like that. I mean, we didn't even get like a crazy war in there where they canceled each other out, just going at it, trying to please the fans. No, we actually had a nice tactical chess match in there. I like what Volkanovski was doing in this fight. I liked the way he proved a lot of people wrong. I was picking Volkanovski to win this fight, not just because I'm a fan, but I felt like he had the skill sets going into this fight that Islam has never seen before. And moving up in weight, he was actually able to carry the physical strength up and give Islam Makhachev something he's never seen before. And in my opinion, I felt like he won this fight. I thought he did enough to win this fight. Now, I'm not going to go out and cry robbery like some people do. I can understand where they feel like Alexander Volkanovski won the fight because there's two scenarios where you can kind of look at it. When I first watched the fight, 3, 4, and 5 is what I gave Volkanovski. Some people gave 2, 3, and 5 to Volkanovski. Volkanovski said, I believe he watched the fight back himself on Twitter, and he said that he actually gave 2, 3, and 5 to himself, right? And I think that's what a lot of people did. But, going back and analyzing round 4, I just think there was a lot of things that Volkanovski did to kind of cancel out the grappling of Islam Makhachev and win the fight. Split decision, I could have seen that for Islam if you really want to just kind of break it down. But as far as like unanimous decision, I just didn't see it. I really didn't see it. I thought Volkanovski, he did. I think he did the more effective work. I thought he was landing the more concussive punches that were kind of, knocking Islam off balance a few times. I think his counter wrestling, his counter grappling was on point in this fight, just really pushing Islam to that limit. Islam was really pushed in this fight. He's never been 5 before, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. He's never been 5 before, right? And I think that Alexander Volkanovski just had too much in the tank for him, and he was just giving him a lot of different looks in there. Not like too much work and not too much pressure, like I said, because it was still a tactical chess match. But, I still think Volkanovski was doing some different things in there that were just keeping him under a lot of pressure. I mean, the first round I did give to Islam. I mean, there was a lot of respect from both fighters. I thought Islam was measuring well with his striking. That right away I could give Islam credit. His footwork was on point. He was doing a good job of measuring. But as soon as Islam, kind of got set into that trap of the footwork of Volk, Volk started, kind of switching up stances, from southpaw to orthodox back to southpaw. He was able to land a straight left hand down the barrel and just knock Islam back, and then you could definitely see like that power carried up from Volkanovski. Islam, he was landing some hard shots in there in the first round. He definitely rocked Volkanovski back again too, about put him on a knee, landed a good head kick, got a takedown, and he was able to get the back of Volkanovski in this round. So I had to give Islam the first round. I thought Volkanovski, when he got taken down to the ground, he was in trouble to get submitted, but he was on his defense. His defense was on point in this round. Second round, both guys, to me, their defense was solid on the feet. They both were making each other miss. And to me, like I said, that's what makes the fight entertaining to me. When you can see guys setting traps and the next guy knows their next move and they make a miss at times. You know what I mean? Like, I like seeing that type of action. That kind of shows you what type of skills these guys were on. Volk, he landed another shot in this round too that kind of stunned Islam a little bit. But whenever he dipped down to the ground, he was able to recover. And Islam, to me, he was kind of struggling to get Volkanovski down in this round. I mean, Islam was actually showing some better work on the feet at times. When he would get into that tie clinch, he was landing some good knees. But Volkanovski, whenever he would separate, just had nice pressure and a nice body attack. He was like landing these right hands to the body. But Islam, he did stun him as he stepped in once. And that's why Volkanovski was trying to take his time, I think, throughout these little exchanges in the round. Like, he wouldn't just like step straight in, because he was still watching the power of Islam and trying to get off smart shots. Because when he stepped in once, he did get rocked a little bit. Volkanovski, I think he controlled that tie clinch a few times, against the cage. He was deflecting a lot of the knees to the body. I had to give the round to Islam, but I can see where some people gave it to Volk. Now, third round, Islam, his striking was looking solid. Like, first part of the round, it was looking solid. But I like the way Volkanovski was attacking that body. He was mixing it up, low kicks, right hooks to the body. Islam, he was getting off his body kicks as well. But, like I said, Islam trying to get the fight back to the ground, it just wasn't easy. When he tried to get it down to the ground, Volkanovski just reversed him and land some big shots. Volkanovski started backing him up in that third round and just pushing that action. Like I said, Islam, he wasn't used to this pace. So I think the work rate of Volk went up in this round, and I think the effective strikes were his. So I give him the third round. Fourth round, Islam, he was landing some good straight left hands in that first like minute or two. So I know where people are arguing I gave this round, they were like, oh, I give this round to Islam. But, Islam, he was landing good strikes in that first couple of minutes. Like I said, he did have a nice level change too and took Volkanovski down. Very textbook, because as Volkanovski was kind of walking down, I think he thought it was going to be a striking battle. And as soon as he stepped in with a shot, Islam just dips under, drops a level, and takes him down. But from here, Islam, he has the back of Volkanovski. But Volkanovski, to me, he was defending well. Like, Islam was just holding on. And Volk, he was landing a lot of hard strikes from behind, a la Valentina Shevchenko versus Tyler Santos. And like I said, I'm trying to keep that same energy now, because, the first time I saw that round with Tyler Santos, I did give Tyler Santos a round because I thought she was doing a lot more work just by holding. But I don't know, though. Like, in some cases, Tyler was kind of holding tight onto the neck of Valentina, but she was still landing shots here. But Islam, his grip wasn't as tight on Volkanovski, because, Volkanovski doesn't really have the neck either. So he didn't really have that full-on grip like Tyler did. So, Volk, he's still landing shots from behind. He's landing these shots and he's pushing, he's really like landing these strikes. So, he's getting his numbers up and he's doing damage. Like, when he's throwing these shots back, he's doing damage to the right eye. So I'm like, come on, we got to score this. We just can't score this guy holding here. So that's why I gave him the fourth round. I had to give Volkanovski that fourth round. I thought he did enough damage to take that fourth round. Now, the fifth round, clearly Volkanovski knew that he had to let it go, and he started letting it go, body and leg kicks. He was pushing the pace, and he was coming after Islam. Islam was still landing those knees every now and then, the straight left hand, but Volkanovski, he was putting Islam on the back foot here. Islam, he did land a good knee to the head that opened up a cut on Volk, but Volk, he was still in it. Good counter grappling just to get out of danger and get the fight back up to the ground. Volk, landing in the clinch, pushing Islam back. Volk, he landed a big right hand that dropped Islam in this round, and when he got him down, he was just on top of him, landing some good punches landing some good ground and pound in the guard of Islam. So when you saw the fight at this point, you were like, oh man, like, this is tight here. But at the same time, you had to be like, okay, Volkanovski did enough to secure a victory here, because he had Islam looking at the clock. Islam was never really like in full control of this fight. Volk, he was never in full control, but he had more of his moments to me. I think he had more moments in this fight, and the way he secured that round, and he was letting his hands go throughout some of these exchanges, like in round 3 and 5, I thought he secured the fight, in my opinion. Unanimous decision, I couldn't see it that way. Like I said, 3 rounds to 2 either way. Certain scenarios, like I said, 2, 3, and 5, 3, 4, and 5 for Volk. If you had it close for Islam, yeah, okay, I could see that somewhat. But I still think that Volkanovski gave Islam, he gave him some different looks and something definitely to work on. he's definitely got some things to work on, in my opinion. Still got to work on some different like looks with his striking. It can be telegraphed a little bit, and he still has to cut angles a little bit. He'll back straight into the cage. Volkanovski, short guy, stocky guy, but he was just able to close range and get off some good punches on Islam in this fight. Islam did a good job utilizing the striking and the wrestling. Definitely on his way to being a good, well-rounded fighter. But to me, somebody like Volkanovski, the way he was pushing him, man, if the guys are bigger, the guys that get bigger and stronger, and they can utilize the same thing that Volkanovski has, Islam's going to have trouble. He's going to have trouble in there. But overall, I think Volkanovski, he definitely carried the weight up nicely. Some people thought that it wasn't going to carry up, but, this guy, he's proportionate. He's built proportionally. He's got strength in his legs. He's kind of wide. He's not carrying too much weight up top or too much at the bottom. So I think it just kind of measured out well for Volkanovski in this fight. But again, like I said, I thought he won the fight. Overall, good fight. Rematch, not right now. I think both of these guys got a lot of other work to do now. You got Yair Rodriguez, who just won the interim belt against Josh Emmett. So that's a good fight for Volkanovski. There's names like Dustin Poirier that are looking at Islam right now. Justin Gaethje. So there's a lot going on in the divisions that both of these guys are respectively part of. So this was just kind of one of those spur of the moment things where you have guys daring to be great at a time, kind of like when Izzy took on Blachowicz. Not really trying to see a rematch between Izzy and Blachowicz until they had done something big in both of their divisions again to lead up to that fight again. Same thing with Izzy and same thing with Volk and Islam in this situation. Like, I think they'll have to go on some crazy win streaks again, just defeating everybody in their path. And then they say, hey, you want to do it again? If you still got your belt, Islam, let's do it again, right? He'll move up and try to take him on again. That's the only situation I want to see for a rematch. But right now, I think they can continue to build their legacies, respectively. So, yeah, that's what I thought of the fight, guys. I had to come back and do one for this one. I know it ain't WMMA, but like I said, when guys dare to be great, I got to give them their credit. Got to put respect on their names. Let me know what y'all thought of the fight in the comment section. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.